Alright, so let's talk tanks today. So, TCSU is your Canadian certification standards. You can Google your number there, figure out the restrictions, laws, whatever. For us in the United States, DOT, you want to Google the 10915. Basically what it says on this one is every 15 years you have to discard it, and every 5 years you have to get it recertified. So basically every 5 years after 2009 it must be recertified, and once you've reached 15 years past, time to throw it away. So I just had this one rehydroed, and it's good for another 5 years. So in 2019 I will have to have this thing recertified. But again, these dates are not the expiration date, but the day that it was actually certified. So what's it cost? Roughly anywhere from 20-25 bucks. I recommend going to your local pro shop, having them service your reg while they rebuild it too. You want to get new O-rings put in there. You don't want them rotting out, blowing any burst discs, or having any problems later down the road. It's probably a good idea to have it, you know, maintained more often than 5 years. But apparently when I talked to the guys, mine was actually fairly clean in there. I thought it was going to be pretty dirty. This thing sat for a good 2 or 3 years without any use, and I thought it would have some moisture in there that wasn't going to play well with the internals, but it was good. So under 40 bucks, I think it was 35 plus tax. You know, this thing should be set for another 5 years for the hydro and another 2 to 3 years for the rig. I'll probably get it serviced a little bit sooner next time. You know, one thing you want to protect dirt from getting inside your regulator. You don't want to get anything in there, and you never want to oil inside your tank either. You don't want, you know, oil 4,500 psi. It doesn't play well, and there's been some pretty nasty horror stories from that. People putting some combustible oils in there. 4,500 psi, it becomes very unstable. Always, you know, protect your threads, either rubber cap, metal cap, whatever. But again, it's pretty simple. Take your tank out, Google your number if you're not sure. Most of the ones are either 3 or 5 years. Most of the carbon fiber ones are 5 years, but you never know until you Google it, because there's some that could be you know, every 3 years. So, and this is, I believe, the standards, the DOT standards. You have a few, but again, important date right here. When you guys at your paintball field, this is the date they're looking for. If you've had it certified, they're looking for your date here. So yeah, that's about it. And if you got an aluminum one with the writing on there, you want to protect the writing. Once the writing's gone, guess what? You got to rehydro it, and typically they are not worth the rehydro cost. You can get those aluminum tanks, you know, the 4,800, 3,000 psi ones for like 40 bucks, and the rehydro costs what, 20-25 bucks. And you get yourself a new tank. You know, by the time you add a reg rebuild in there, if you can, it doesn't really pan out. So, any questions? Post any comments. Thanks, guys.